Hello everyone, it is me, Flambe, here in the Beast's castle. Oh, Flambe, you always get that wrong. He is no longer called the Beast. He is now back to being a handsome young prince, and he has married Belle, and they live happily ever after. Here is their story. Once upon a time, there lived a cruel and selfish young prince who only had time for himself and what others could do for him. One day, the prince came across a woman who asked him for shelter from the storm, but he turned her away in the cold and rain. As the woman left, she handed the vain young prince a single red rose, then revealed herself to be a powerful sorceress. As punishment for his cruelty, she cursed him to look like a hideous beast, unless he could find true love, and to make the spell even worse, he only had until the rose would die. As they didn't know what had happened, all of the villagers were scared of the beast and would avoid the castle. So, his chances of finding true love were very low. Now, luckily for the cursed prince and all those that lived in the castle, Fairy Fifi, a good and noble fairy, was already hatching a plan to save the day and had her eyes on Belle, a young maiden. Belle was given a name as she was so beautiful. She was also very clever and she loved to read. She lived with her father and their cook, Rosie Lee, in a small house in the village. The only downside of Belle's life was constantly having to fend off the advances of Gaston, the village heartthrob. Well, that's what he considered himself to be anyway. One day, Belle's father was to go to a far-off place, and he asked his daughter what she wanted on his return. "Father, bring me the most beautiful rose that you see." Whilst on his travels, Belle's father had to cross through the deep, dark forest and very quickly got lost. Oh dear. During his wanderings, he came across an old beggar woman and asked her for directions. She showed him the path to take, and he continued on his way. Little did he realize, but then he had been sent in the direction of the castle by none other than Fairy Fifi in disguise. After walking for many miles, he saw a beautiful rosebush growing in the lawn and remembered Belle's gift. He plucked a red rose from the bush and took it inside the castle. Inside, he met 3 servants who worked in the castle, but there was something strange about them, almost magical. Coggins, Lombe, and Fifi fetched him some food and offered a bed for the night, but they were keen to keep it a secret from their master. Suddenly, a ferocious-looking beast sprang out of the bush. He was wearing fine silk clothes and roared, "You are stealing my roses!" The merchant was frightened and told the beast about Belle's gift. The beast decided to let him go only if he promised to sell Belle to this castle. The merchant agreed and ran back home. He cried and told his daughter about the beast. But Belle loved her father a lot and agreed to go and stay with the beast. The beast treated Belle with a lot of kindness. He was never rude to her. He let her stay in the biggest room and let her roam in the beautiful garden. Belle would sit near the fireplace and sew, while the beast kept her company. At first, Belle was afraid of the beast, but slowly she began to like him. All the servants in the castle and the beast still treated her kindly and with a lot of love. But Belle missed her father a lot. The beast gave her a mirror and said, "Look at this mirror and you can see your family and you won't feel lonely anymore." One day, Belle looked into the mirror and saw that her father was very ill and dying. She went to the beast and pleaded and cried, "Please, let me go home. I only want to see my father before he dies." But the beast agreed to Belle leaving, as he realized he truly loved her and didn't want to see her in any pain. Belle left and went to see her father, who, upon seeing her return, felt very happy and soon recovered. But Belle's tales of the beast, who is actually gentle and kind, the castle and its servants soon spread through the village. Gaston heard tales of the ferocious beast who had apparently won the heart of the girl he wanted to marry, and set off to find the castle. Belle rushed back to the castle to find the beast and Gaston fighting, and with a mighty lunge, Gaston stabbed the beast and then himself fell from the balcony. Belle ran to the beast and cried and said, "Please don't die, I love you." The beast miraculously changed into a handsome prince. He said, "I was under a curse all these years and could only be relieved when someone fell in love with me. I am now cured of the curse because you truly love me." And then Belle and the beast were married, and together they lived happily ever after. You know, that story always makes me think of something Belle once said to me. She said, "Flambe, you should never judge a book by its cover." And you know, I think that is true. Because it is not what is on the outside. It's what's on the inside that counts. Good night, dear ones. Sleep well. Goodbye.